Welcome to the lesson on what you think about you. I'm not going to project or screen share this time because this exercise is very similar to the last exercise, what other people think about you, what you think other people think about you. So with that, for this exercise, what I do want to share or communicate with you is just holding space for yourself, right? And so what do I mean by holding space, right? So the act of writing down our own thoughts about ourselves can take us to a very vulnerable place, but also to a place where we want to judge ourselves for the things that we're thinking about ourselves, right? So that's what I mean by holding space. I don't want you to judge. I want you to just get it out of your body, get it out of your system. I want you to have awareness, and full awareness brings intentionality. It means that you can then act upon it, as opposed to you just kind of thinking these thoughts consciously sometimes and unconsciously other times, kind of again in the back of your mind, right? So I want you to also notice that this time it may be a little harder to get going, right? It's really easy to think about all the things that other people think about us, but it requires more of us to talk about what we think about ourselves, because the conversations we have with ourselves kind of just happen, right? And they normally happen when something happens to us or when we feel like something happens to us, right? So for example, if something happens at work, you can easily, or if someone says something to you, you can easily think about, oh, that person said X, Y, Z to me, so this is what they think about me. Whereas the conversations that you have with yourself or in your head are kind of between you and yourself, right? And they happen in such a way that you're not always conscious about them. But you know those thoughts. In a lot of cases, those thoughts are going to be negative. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, right? And you'll notice those because they're the ones where we tend to ask ourselves questions like, why can I not do this? Why am I not getting promoted? Like, why am I not enough? Right? So they kind of start with the why, or where we tell ourselves, you are something, right? Like, you are so stupid. You need to be doing X, Y, or Z, right? These are all sentences in our head. This is the conversation we're having about ourselves, with ourselves, right? So I want you just to think about, you can go back to a time, a place, an event, if it helps you to trigger those thoughts that you have about you. They can also be words: driven, ambitious, right? These are all words: loving, supportive. These are all words that also can describe you as a person, right? No matter whether it's good or bad, right? Also, there are good words or good sentences. Like, one of my favorite is, I am the best. Doesn't mean you're not the best. It's just a sentence in my head that motivates me, hypes me up, gets me going, right? Like, I'm excited. I'm always striving to be the best for whatever that means for me, not in comparison to other people, but for me in that moment, for that day, or for that effort. And I want you to do the same. So as you begin to kind of think through those things, you may find that once you get going, you have more thoughts than there are circles on the piece of paper. No worries, just make a copy of it and keep going, or use the extra sheets and the notes to just make a list of thoughts that you think about you, sentences you have with yourself. This will become so important because the conversation with yourself is the most important conversation and communication that you have when it comes to your career. And so by gaining awareness of what you're saying to yourself, it means that there's good news. It means that we can now decide on purpose if we want to keep saying these things to ourselves, if they're working for us or if they're not. We can take action from the place of awareness, right? But first, we got to get those thoughts on that piece of paper. So go ahead and do that, and I'll see you in the next lesson.